everybody, my name is Kyle Keith and welcome to another Tortoise Spot video. Today we're going to do a little bit of a maintenance video. We're going to be working on my pond filter, which I made about 3 or 4 years ago when I got this pond. This pond actually I got from a friend and it had a big hole in it and I patched it. I actually have a video on it. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. But I patched it about 4 years ago, maybe 5 now, and it's been holding. I had many turtles in here at one point. All that's in here right now is a black knob, northern black knob map turtle, and a stink pot, and a few goldfish. And then everything else has kind of been eaten or gone or adopted out. I thought about closing this pond down, but I think I might keep it too. I don't know. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. But the main thing I need to work on today, though, is this big old filter that I built. To do it yourself, a filter. And it keeps the water pretty clear. You can see all the way to the bottom. The glare is kind of crazy, but so it's just been needing to be done. It's been about a year, but since the bio load's been so low and it's such an overkill type of filter, I haven't really had to clean it pretty much. But it pretty much has an overflow right here, and it goes down this tube and into this little bin. And this bin is kind of like a sump, I guess, but there's no real filter media. I do have plants in there during the summer, so the roots. And underneath this basket right here, I don't know if you can see with the glare, there's a pump, and that pumps up to the filter, and then it just overflows back in here. But if we open her up, you can see there's just bio balls, and underneath there, I think I put lava rocks and a few different layers of media. But it's a ton of biomedia, so it's kind of overkill, but keeps this pond crystal clear, and I never had problems. So that's the game plan today. We're gonna take this and clean it all out and just get it ready for the next spring. Also, we can crack it open and I can show you kind of how I built it. I think I did a video on it, but I can kind of go over what's inside of it. But that is the game plan for today. I don't think any of the turtles are really out. That's why it's kind of cooler. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hit the like, subscribe button if you guys enjoy this kind of content. And thank you for supporting my first video back in a few years. So kind of the first step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just shut this off, which I put all the power down underneath this table. So I could probably just, I might just unplug it. I think this is the plug for the pump, so I'll just unplug it. Now that it's unplugged, I'm gonna wait for this water to stop overflowing, which means it's gonna go lower than the overflow, and then that's fully off. But while that's going on, I can take this tube off. This is the tube that goes to the pump. Pretty simple, just little, I think it's like a 1/2 inch, just simple. And this little tube, this tube that I built going in here, this is the bottom of the filter, just a bulkhead, goes to this T right here, and when you flip it on, you can drain out the bottom, and you can drain the whole filter out full of water, so it's not so heavy, because right now it's full to the top. You can see the overflow. So I'm gonna do that right now, let it drain out, and you'll see the water will be pretty gunky, because that's the bottom of the filter where it kind of all settles. When I open it up, you can kind of see better, but let me go ahead and drain this. You can see the very end of this spigot. I'm just gonna turn the knob, and you can see it's gonna be probably dark at first. That's not too bad. But I'm just gonna let this flow until there's no more water coming out of it, because that means this thing is empty and a lot lighter to handle. So, and plus this thing is still going too, so. Put a little rock there so it doesn't get eroded away, but it's gonna take about a few minutes here. So, all right, it's just about done here. You can see it's pretty mucky at the bottom there. So it's been about a year since I've changed this, so it's gonna be pretty nasty, but it needs to be done. You see this stuff dripping too. I might clean the bottom here, but I might just keep all this and clean this next time, just because it has a lot of beneficial bacteria right now. But once this is done draining, I'm gonna tee it back off. up here, and I'm gonna take the long tube off so it's a little easier to carry. Then I'm gonna take it down and just kind of put it over here in this flat area where this hose is, and then we're gonna clean her on out pretty good. All right, just teed her off now. And then I didn't glue this part in. I just put this part on just so it doesn't drain into the pond. It drains outside onto the ground. So I can just pull that off right now. As you can see, it just rips right off. And then this piece right here, I usually just flip upward. That way it's out of the way. And then right down here, it's kind of through this caging. But we could take this whole pipe off too because I didn't glue it. That way, just in case I want to change the different outlets here. But so I could just take it off here, which I'll do right now. Might need 2 hands. Now that it's all off, I could just pick it up pretty much, put it over there, which I'm gonna have to have 2 hands again for, so. All right, I put you guys down over there. It's still gonna be pretty heavy, but it shouldn't be too heavy. Yeah, it's probably like maybe 30 pounds. And then there we go. Now that we got it down here, we can work on it. But you can see I built this about 4 years ago. It's I believe, a 6 or 7 gallon trash can. And then it has 1 bulkhead here, 1 down here, then 2 over here. So this one's the intake. The water goes in right here, and then it fills up the whole thing, and then it overflows back into the pond here. If this for some reason overflow or gets clogged, that's what this one's for, and it will overflow back into the pond before it starts overflowing the top. And if this gets clogged, and then it's gonna overflow to the top, but that's just gonna fail safe. I've never had to use that yet. And this very bottom one, like I said, is to drain the whole thing and to kind of clean the bottom trap out. But yeah, it's a pretty basic pond. Probably cost me, I don't know, 30 bucks to build the whole thing, depending on what you have laying around. I had a lot of these bulkheads already, so it probably only cost me less than that. So works perfect though. It's been keeping my pond flawless, and yeah, lasts forever. So the next step here is gonna crack this open, which just opens just like a trash can. And you can see there's all the media in here, and this is that intake pipe. And then this pipe goes all the way to the very, very bottom. So it kind of fills it up from the bottom up instead of going through and then up, and it goes to the bottom and then all the way up to the top before it overflows on this side. You can see the overflow here. And this is just a net I made to help capture any big junk before it goes out. But I'm gonna take all this out. This has a hole through it, so I need to go find a bucket real quick so I can put everything in it. All right, I found 2 little buckets here, so hopefully that's enough. But first take the screen out, and then this thing, kind of gotta take this part off. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands here real quick. I'll put you down for a second. All right, so you kind of have to pull this part off, which connects here to the down pipe. That way you can get all these balls out without having a problem, because there's a hole through here, so the balls can go right through the pipe, the down pipe here. So I'll show you. But now that this thing is open, you can take the whole thing out. You can see it's pretty gunked up. All that's all gunked up, but it's not that bad for how long it's been. But definitely, I just put them all in that bucket. Needs, and this is a filter mat. And this is, I think, a pound of balls. I don't know how many there are, like 200. This is a filter floss pad. You can see it is disgusting, which will probably just replace that. I have more. And this is a basket I made. I just cut it out. It's just egg crate. And you're able to make little layers. So as you can see, there's piping there, egg crate, and then these 4 little poles here. You can see how gunked up this is. This is disgusting, actually. So It's just all gunk. That's not supposed to be like that. But these are all support for that platform I just pulled out. And this is actually, you can't really see it because it's so gunked up, lava rock, which has a lot of surface area. And underneath that, I probably won't pull this all out. I'll probably just keep it open, kind of tip it over because this is really heavy. But underneath this is a false bottom with nothing in it, so it's just a cavern where the water can settle before it starts rising up. That's where a lot of the gunk filters. So, but you can see it's been over a year, maybe about a year actually, and you can see just all poop, nasty, old matter, all that needs to go, and we're gonna do it today. The balls aren't too bad because it's at the top, but that's pretty bad. We need to clean that today. All right, so I'm just one man here, so you're gonna bear with me with the camera. I'm gonna start with these balls, and actually you're not supposed to even use, you're supposed to use pond water to save the bacteria, but since it's been so long, I'm just gonna use hose water, and then with all the bacteria that's in the pond, it'll build up new bacteria, hopefully. That's the game plan anyway. But I'm just gonna kind of toss these around a bit and just get most of it off. It's pretty bad, but could be worse. This bucket has a hole in the bottom, so you can kind of just put it. And you can see a lot better, a lot of nastiness. I'm just gonna get mostly clean because you want to don't kill all the bacteria on this, but this is the one where we're gonna have a lot of trouble with. That's a lot of sludge. So put you guys back down right here real quick. Hopefully you guys can see that too. I think we're pretty much good on that. Shower head here. Try to clean it a little bit. Over all the. It's kind of what we want it. And then while we're here, we'll just. Sorry, guys, you probably got wet there. Whoop. While we're here, we'll clean the divider. This has been 5 years. You can see how it's been stained. And while we're here, we'll just do the little net I made to guard the entrance there, so bio balls and stuff don't clog the little hole. All right, guys. I hope you can see me, but it's kind of the only angle I can get. Ow. Think sharp, careful. But we're gonna clean this out, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on. I'll turn the switch off. We're gonna turn this way, and then we're gonna just start spraying it out. You'll see it start. So I'm just spraying it out. And you see it coming out the drain pipe there. I'm gonna try to get most of it out of here. It's gonna take a while, probably, and then just break it up like this. You can see this is all lava rock though, which makes great media, and it's cheap. Just if you do use it, just make sure you clean it all out first, because it's pretty dusty when you first buy it. So, hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. Trying to use my external mic to help. Put you guys back up here with 2 hands. Hope you guys can see this. And then just to help it, I'm just going to dump it this way. Hit it again. Dump the jet. Let them drain a bit. You guys get the idea, so I'm just gonna finish cleaning it out here for a second, and we'll cut back to you guys when I'm kind of closer to done. So pretty much we're just gonna spray it out with the hose, make sure it looks all pretty nice in here, not all mucked up. I'm gonna do it a few times here to make sure it really gets drained and cleaned out, and then yeah, we're gonna try to put it all back together. That's the game plan. All right, guys. You can see it's a lot cleaner. You can see the lava rock finally. And then you can see the bioballs are all clean too. That was our old filter floss, but we got a bunch of new stuff there. So pretty much time to put it back together. But that's pretty much how you clean it. Like I said, you shouldn't use the hose because it does kill a lot of the bacteria. But in this case, it was pretty extreme, so I couldn't use pond water. Just would take too long because of all the gunk. You saw how much gunk it was built up. But when I do it the next 2 or 3 months, because usually I do it every 2 or 3 months, so when you do it pretty consistently and then it's less gunked up, you can actually take a bucket of water and take some pond water and kind of clean it out that way so you can save most of your bacteria. In this case, I'm gonna pretty much kill a lot of the bacteria in here, probably not all of it, but with my pond and everything, it will regenerate pretty fast. So plus this is a lot of surface area, that's a lot of surface area, and it's just pretty overkill for the size of this pond. So but yeah, we're gonna put it back together now, get it back on, plug the pump in and turn it on and make sure everything's running. So let's get it back together. So the first thing we put in is this little divider I made. Like I said, they come in squares, pretty easy to cut, and then I just measured it to fit inside here with the hole in the middle, so the downward pipe where the water goes down could fit through it. So that just separates this media with the filter floss before it goes to these bioballs. So this kind of acts like a separator from all the sludge, and then it has to go through this to kind of really the sludge doesn't really get past that layer at all. And then the bioballs are mostly doing a lot of the bio work. This does do a lot of bio work too though, so I just use it more of like a mechanical filter. But you can see I perfectly cut it, so it's pretty good. Little tiny gaps, but and then it's pretty solid. You could put a bunch of stuff on there. These little pipes go all the way to the bottom, so it's PVC's holding it pretty good. So and then this next one, we're just gonna take these bioballs. Well, actually, we're gonna take this filter floss. Sorry, I forgot about it already. And we're just gonna layer it on here. I'm gonna poke a little hole here. I don't have a knife with me, so just poke a little hole, and then I put 2 layers usually. So you can see I'm just poking it through. It's just cotton pretty much, so boom. And then I like to try to fill the gaps as much as possible. You're never gonna get all of it, but just as much as you can. Don't forget it's flowing up through this, so. And then after that, we put the filter balls on top and a little filter screen. Put the lid back on, and we're good to go. This might take a little challenge here. Let me put you guys down for a sec. Sorry, I had to put you guys down for a second. So we put the filter pad down, and these come in a basket that just zip up. You can buy it on Amazon, or I think I bought them on Amazon. You just look up like bio balls. What I like about them is they do have a lot of surface area, just like any other bio ball. They're cheap and they're light. So when you build a filter this big, the lighter the filter media, the better. And these actually work really good when you have like a tumbler filter because they float a little bit. That's why I keep these in the bag, because they actually float. So I keep them in the bag, or they will all float through these little holes, because they could kind of clog them up. And if you, I don't know if you can see that on video, but if it sits right here, it'll overflow because it's clogging up the hole. That's why I have one of the screens too, just in case the balls come out of the net here, which does happen every now and then. But I try to put them all back in here. And since I cut a hole through the middle so the pole can go through, a lot of the balls will fall out. But it's all in the enclosure. It's just trying to help it. So what I do is look at, there's already some that fell out. You just put it through the top though. So what I try to do is find the hole in the bottom, is right there. I'll sleeve it through like so. And then I'll disperse the balls around the pipe. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. And then the net kind of keeps it all in one spot here. I try to keep it all in there, but I don't know if you guys can see that, but so this goes through the net, and then I have a hole. This hole keeps getting bigger. It used to be a little tiny hole, and then these can float out and stuff. So a lot of times, you know, I try to not have them float out and stuff, but it's gonna do what it's gonna do. And don't forget, we still have this pipe that goes right here and across, and that creates the water flow to the bottom. So that's pretty much the last step. Let me wash it off real quick. There we go, nice and washed off. Now I can just put it right back on there, and then, I don't know if you guys will see this, but I'm just gonna muscle it on there. There we go. There we go. Now this pipe is on. It doesn't have to be watertight because we're inside the filter. So this filter is all watertight. So the only way out is here, here, and over the top. So like I said, that's the overflow. You can see it's about maybe 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches above the regular outflow. So like I said, if this ever clogs up, this is just an emergency. And I check on it every day. So if it starts coming out of here, I have a little bit of time before it goes over the top. And like I said, it's just pretty simple, do it yourself filter. And I just usually use this little guy. And I just put it right over the front of those. That way, if one of these balls come out, they can't fit in that hole. They kind of pile up on here and the water is allowed to go anywhere. And even if it clogs up, the water can still get over it. So that's pretty much how you clean this filter. Next step is to put it back in its spot, plug it in, and let it fill up. Let's go and do that. All right, let me just grab it here real quick. It's way lighter with nothing in it too. So here it is. Put it right back on here. This little table sits above my pond that I made. And I just slide it over here. Plug the inlet hose back in. And then the outlet hose. I don't know if you guys can see that actually. And then we're gonna put the outlet hose back on here. Yeah, so we're just gonna get this outlet hose back on here. See that? There we go. That's still a bit. Gotcha. Back on. That's all good. That's all good. So now we can fill her up. You can see this little pipe on the end. That pipe kind of goes in, creates like a current, and then this will overflow to create like more of a waterfall, aerate it. So now we can plug it back in. We'll go ahead and do that real quick. Let me find the plug. All right, pump is officially plugged in. What I like to do is make sure, make sure it's flowing. And then I can actually put, this is that pipe that went on the outlet. Oh, we're about to turn it off. You can see it's already leaking out because it goes straight to the bottom. So. There we go, now we got that pipe on. All right, so now it is all plugged in and downpipe is in. Can actually run it real quick. See how black it is? Because I just cleaned it, so let's just run it till it's clear, or clear-ish. About right there. Turn it back off. And now it will fill right up here. And it's gonna take probably a few minutes to actually fill this up, but all right guys, it's been about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but you can see the water is starting to come out here, which means it's filled up. So you can see the water line here, so it's going through that pipe all the way to the very bottom, and then just filled up to about that line. That's where I wanted it, and then it just goes through that little hole there and out back into the pond. So that means the pump is working well, and now this will overflow. Now it's filling up the pond, and you can see where it's gonna overflow in a second, and then that will come down here. As you can see, it's barely trickling, but it'll start getting a little faster, and then it'll go. I need to clean this down here too, but I'll do that another day, I think. Once yeah, just another day, just because right now it's a little bit tough with all the water and bacteria we killed. So next step though, probably make another video on it, clean this sump out, clean the pump out. But with this basket right here over the pump, it keeps a lot of this debris actually away from the pump, and this whole little sump is actually made to collect a lot of the very heavy stuff that comes through that overflow before it goes into the filter. That way it helps the filter keep a little bit cleaner, and then I can just clean this out, and if I need to maintain the pump, I can just reach it in here instead of reaching into the pond, and it just works a lot better if you do have a pond and able to do a little overflow style situation. It just, maintenance is easier, everything is a little bit easier, and you can even throw a heater in here if you want, and that heater will actually heat the whole pond because it's all one system technically. So this holds about 5 gallons of water, I would guess. This holds about 40 gallons of water, and this probably holds about 15 gallons of water when it's full. So that whole system is probably 60 gallons worth of water total. So anyways, that's the end of this video. Thanks for joining me, guys. I want to do more projects like this. There's a lot of maintenance videos I need to do this before spring starts, including making a few enclosures, because I want to get a few of the turtles from inside outside. So hopefully you guys will be around for those videos. I'll try to show you guys how I do it, how I plan to do it, and what turtles are going to go outside. So that's kind of exciting. It's still kind of cool. Today is only 60 degrees, so it's pretty chilly out. So all the turtles are kind of sleeping, but I figure we can't waste days, sunny days, clear days, non-rainy days, and we had to clean this filter out for a while. So finally it's done and ready. I'll give you guys a little update video in probably a few days, and you guys can see how clear this pond kind of gets. And I'm gonna try to edit in some of the underwater video from my GoPro. I don't know how it's gonna look, so this will be the test video for that too. So if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, try and do more educational videos too, plus these project videos. So if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, let me know. I do live on a busy highway, and I know some people comment that the highway noise is annoying. I am trying to use more mics like this with a lot more negative dB to try to not catch all that, and more just my voice. So I'm really trying here for you guys. I know it's annoying, it annoys me, but I'm trying to make do with what I got, and I want to start making videos for you guys. So here we are. Yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you guys every Tuesday, which I'm going to consider Turtle Tuesday. That's when I plan to drop videos, every Tuesday. And I hope to see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, and see you guys next week.